President Cyril Ramaphosa will chair the 30th meeting of the African Peer Review Forum of Heads of State and Government this afternoon. The forum was established in 2003 as an instrument for African Union member states to self-monitor their governance. For more on this, we're joined by Thulani Tshefuta from the African Peer Review Mechanism. Very good morning to you. First, lay out for us what this actually means, how it works, how important it is.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and good morning to your viewers. The APRM is a very important instrument, which is an African-led, African-owned, and African-championed instrument, which seeks to promote good governance across the continent. It is one of those tools where Africa is positioned to do what it has been calling for all this time, that of African solutions to African challenges. So it is an instrument where African states, under the auspices of the African Union, use the APRM to hold each other accountable. They use the APRM to learn from each other, such that governance mistakes and deficiencies that are committed by one country do not continue to be repeated in other countries. And out of that process of peer learning, then countries get to draw best practice, which if escalated and implemented across the continent, it can only mean stability of governance, and with stability of governance comes improved service delivery and thereby development.
Okay, this has been going since 2003, and if you see what's happening, what's been bubbling away across the continent, it hasn't been that successful, has it?
Well, the African Peer Review Mechanism has been registering differing levels of success, because in its architecture, it looks into democracy and political governance, it looks into economic development and management, it looks into corporate governance generally, and it looks into socio-economic development. There is an emerging interest now that we should add theme number 5 into those, which will look into the resilience of the states to withstand challenges like we have experienced with COVID-19. So in each of those indicator areas, there have been varying degrees of success with countries learning from each other. But what we can say is that the APRM, as a voluntary instrument, will have countries taking it seriously at different levels. For example, South Africa itself, our own country, did its first generation review in 2005 to 2007 with progress reports submitted to the continent in 2009, 2011 and 2014. And since then there has been a lull until 2019, full 5 years of a lull, you know. So that is also because as a voluntary mechanism, no one can be forced to say you have to go and do this mechanism.
Okay, I mean, I guess that concerns me a little, because, I mean, if you look at the AU and SADC, for example, those sort of bodies, a lot of people say that they are ineffective. I mean, we see what's happening in so many countries, Uganda, Mozambique, DRC, and nothing happens. You know, there's quite a lot of talk, or not even condemnation in some areas. So how will this be more effective? I mean, what are those conversations that are going to be have with Mozambique, for example?
You see, the 30th summit, which President Ramaphosa will be chairing today, will have two types of sessions. There will be what is called an open session, where all of us, anyone, the general public, the media, can log in and follow the proceedings. And there will be a session which is closed, which is called the closed session. And in that closed session, countries like Liberia will be presenting their APRM review report. And the expectation is that their counterparts, the meeting will be attended by presidents and heads of state and government. The expectation is that they must be able to call each other out. They must be able to tell each other where any of the leaders in their respective countries are bringing the name of good governance down in the African continent.
And will they do that?
They definitely do. But of course, I must agree with you that with a certain level of diplomacy, where they exchange pleasantries more than getting into the bottom line of saying, here this is where we must draw the line. You are compromising not only your country and your people, but the entire African continent. But as the South African chapter of the APRM, we have had these hard conversations with our government, where we say that the instrument of the APRM provides for, in its values, that it must be a credible, it must be a technically competent process that is free from any political manipulation. And all those three characteristics
Good luck with that.
enable us, as the governing council of the APRM in South Africa, to say those things that will be most difficult for government to say and accept, but they shall have to be said in the interest of the people of South Africa.
Thulani, interesting, and it'll be great if it works, and it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. So thank you very much for coming in and talking.
Most definitely. Thank you very much. We wish our president all the best of success in chairing the session, and we hope that he will use the opportunity to tell his counterparts what is he doing about APRM in his own country, South Africa.
We look forward
We
to
wish
it.
him all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.